Welcome back to The Explainer. You know that sheer panic when your calendar suddenly turns into a giant game of Tetris? Yeah, we have all been there. Today we're bringing some serious energy to tackle exactly that. We're breaking down 20 advanced, absolute must-know business words for the TOEIC B2 exam, all focused on the wild world of scheduling and appointments. We're going to give you the exact toolkit to completely own your calendar.
So, picture this. You've got this crucial meeting arranged with a top-tier client. The stars are aligned, everything is perfectly set. But then, bam, their original time doesn't work anymore. So what do? How do you fix the whole shebang without creating total chaos or sounding completely unprofessional? Honestly, it happens every single day in the business world. Well, you're in luck because today's explainer gives you the exact blueprint to solve this beautifully.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, setting up the schedule. Second, dealing with delays and conflicts. Third, the art of rescheduling. Fourth, polite business expressions. Fifth, some real-world TOEIC practice. And finally, number 6, a final knowledge check. It's basically a complete, logical journey through the entire life cycle of an appointment.
All right, moving right along to Section 1, setting up the schedule.
Okay, so these 5 foundational words are your bread and butter for getting a meeting on the books. Now, I really want to highlight the absolute holy grail of TOEIC terms here, and that's availability. It literally just means the time when someone is actually free to meet. You're going to hear phrases like, please let me know your availability all the time. We also have appointment for a specific arranged meeting, reservation for when you need to hold a room or a seat, itinerary for that super detailed travel schedule, and arrangement for any future plan.
Now, getting into the actual mechanics of time and planning, these next 5 terms are heavy hitters on the exam. A deadline is that hard, final time for completion, no going past it. The time frame is the specific window or period during which the actual work happens. Duration is simply how long the event lasts. Then there's punctuality, which is a fantastic word, meaning the habit of actually arriving on time. And finally, coordination. That's the messy work of organizing all these different people and moving parts so things actually run smoothly.
But hey, the business world isn't perfect, right? Things go wrong. That brings us to Section 2, dealing with delays and conflicts.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the vocabulary actually shifts depending on just how bad the problem is. Think about it. You can contrast a simple overlap, where 2 events just happen to bump into each other at the same time, with a hard constraint. A constraint is a strict limit, like a tight budget or a jam-packed schedule. And then, of course, you have the ultimate stopping point, a total cancellation. Aside from those, we also have conflict for a general schedule clash and postponement for when you're just pushing an event back to a later time.
Okay, so the schedule broke. It happens to the best of us. Let's jump into Section 3, the art of rescheduling.
When we look at these highly solution-oriented words, the biggest takeaway is this. If you ever need to make an adjustment, which is just a small tweak to the schedule, you almost always have to offer an alternative. You've got to give them another possible choice. Those 2 concepts completely go hand in hand. You'll also use confirmation to officially lock in that new arrangement, allocation when you're assigning a new room or resource, and extension when you just desperately need a little extra time added to a deadline.
Let's take all that vocabulary and combine it with some key business phrases to build a super actionable 4-step survival plan for rescuing a doomed appointment. Step 1, check someone's availability. Step 2, look closely at the calendar to avoid a scheduling conflict. Step 3, make alternative arrangements if things go sideways. And Step 4, confirm the new date and time. It's a simple, foolproof flow that will literally save you every single time.
But vocabulary alone isn't going to cut it. Tone is absolutely everything. Let's look at Section 4, polite business expressions. My absolute biggest piece of advice for these core phrases is to memorize them as chunks, not as individual isolated words. You really want to lock them in as complete thoughts. Schedule an appointment. Reschedule the meeting. Request an extension. Adjust the time frame. Finalize the itinerary. And arrive on time. Storing these specific chunks in your brain is basically a cheat code to sounding incredibly fluent.
And this brilliantly illustrates why tone matters so much. Think of a blunt demand like a heavy gavel coming down in a courtroom. Change the meeting or confirm your time. Ouch. In business, that just comes across as an aggressive command. Now contrast that with a collaborative approach, like a friendly handshake. These are your polite, TOEIC-approved requests using could and would. Instead of demanding, you're asking, could we reschedule the meeting? Or would Friday afternoon be convenient for you? See how much smoother and more professional that sounds? Total game changer. All right, time to put all this into practice. Welcome to Section 5, Real-World TOEIC Practice.
I'm going to read this email just like a real business professional would, and I want you to actively listen. See if you can spot the specific conflict and the proposed solution. Ready? Here we go. Dear Mr. Bennett, I am writing to request a postponement of our appointment originally scheduled for May 6th. Due to a scheduling conflict, I will not be available at 2 p.m. Would it be possible to meet on May 8th instead? If that date is not convenient, please suggest an alternative. Best regards, Karen Miles.
Okay, let's test your comprehension on that. Question 1. Why does Karen want to reschedule? Think about the options presented. Got it? The correct answer is A. She explicitly stated in the email, due to a scheduling conflict, I will not be available. Boom. She used our exact vocabulary term right there.
Let's try question 2. What does Karen ask Mr. Bennett to do? Consider those choices. The correct answer here is B. Notice how beautifully Karen framed this. She offered May 8 and then smoothly added, if that date is not convenient, please suggest an alternative. It's just the absolute perfect example of polite phrasing.
Great job on the reading. Now let's switch gears and set up a listening mini-task dialogue. As I read this conversation, I want you to really listen for the specific constraint they run into. The woman says, I'm checking Dr. Harris's availability for next week. The man asks, does he have any openings on Wednesday morning? She replies, there is one appointment available at 10 a.m., but it overlaps with his staff meeting. The man concludes, then please look for an alternative time in the afternoon.
All right, question 1 for the listening task. What is the woman checking? The answer here is B. Right out of the gate, literally in her first sentence, she states super clearly that she is checking Dr. Harris's availability for next week.
And question 2, why is the 10 a.m. appointment a problem? The answer is A. It overlaps with another meeting. She utilized our key vocabulary word flawlessly, saying it overlaps to explain the direct clash with the doctor's staff meeting.
We've covered a massive amount of vital ground today. Let's bring it all home with Section 6, Final Knowledge Check.
Let's do a rapid-fire review. The time when someone is free, that's their availability. Delaying something to a later time, postponement. 2 events happening at the exact same time, that's an overlap. The go-to business phrase for changing a meeting time, reschedule the meeting. And the magic word we use for polite requests, like, blank we reschedule. The word is could. Honestly, excellent work sticking with me through all of that. So, the crucial point is this. You have officially mastered 20 highly advanced scheduling words. We're talking timeframe, coordination, extension, constraint, the whole shebang. Plus, you've got the exact polite phrases you need to use them correctly. You are absolutely ready to crush it on test day, or honestly, just dominate your own office calendar. We're going to leave it right there for today. But I want you to think about this. The next time a schedule suddenly changes on you, are you going to panic, or are you going to politely pivot? Armed with the vocabulary and the structure you just learned, I am completely confident you know exactly how to handle it. Thanks for learning with me today, and definitely keep up that amazing focus.